Speaking of fielding, you were in with the Irish rugby team.
Yeah.
Your name comes up a little bit when they talk.
Yeah. Like to say that story and the credit that I'm being given has grown legs is probably the understatement of the year. I was asked Vinnie Hammond is one of their analysts. I think you probably know, and he's a couple of connections with. I think he's in Fina originally, and a couple of connections with Dublin GAA, and he had been in with us maybe 2 or 3 years previous. And like that, I was tapping him up for World Cup rugby tickets in 2023 when we were over there. So there was a bit of a connection. And supposedly these new rules in rugby. Now, I watch rugby, but I wouldn't know the ins and outs of the rules or rule changes or anything like that. And he was kind of explaining to me that the rules had changed slightly. That, sure, I thought it was great to be a rugby catcher. Like, you're nicely protected. It's into the breadbasket. Yeah. But the rules had changed where it's kind of more of an open contest. Stuff was going a little bit more overhead, and would you come in and just throw an eye on a training session? I think it was a down week, it was a skills week before the Wales game, if I'm not mistaken. Simon Eastby was the manager because Andy Farrell was with the Lions. Yeah. And straight away I was like, geez, what's the expectation here? I was like, I'm not coming in to present on my technique of catching. Like, these boys are world class. Like, your James Lowe's or your lads like that. So he was like, no, just come in and sit in, and if there's anything we're missing, come on in and just let us know. And of course, he was great. I was number one, I'm an Irish rugby fan, so I'm like, just amazing. So I go in and I'm like, there's zero expectation on my part. It's just all enjoyment. And then you go in, you meet all the boys. You meet Andrew Goodman, Goody, I think they call him, is there. Forwards coach?
Attack coach.
Attack coach. So I always get that wrong in rugby. So I met him and he's kind of showing me clips and he's very good. He introduces me. They've kind of breakout meetings, group meetings. Simon asks me about the 5 in a row and in front of the group, so I'm kind of saying, well, this is the last thing. I would have put an answer together, Simon. You didn't tell me this. I wasn't prepped. So he asked me about say, was the 5 in a row thing a monkey off or on your back because they were heading for 3 championships in a row, and they were, is that a motivation or is it a hindrance? Do you know what I mean? People are asking you about it. You'll be the first team to do this, X, Y, and Z. So I had very much lived that and dealt with it. So kind of regurgitated some answer in the group, and then it was out to skills on the field. So up to Clongowes, and they were running a few drills. It was a pretty light session. It was a skills week, and again, James Lowe referenced it recently. I had just had my operation, so I could barely walk. Do you know what I mean? So out was catching or kicking or running or running any drills. But it was kind of in and standing in on a skills block, and I did nothing. I did very little. I was like, no, this is the truth. I was like, look, and naturally there is a massive difference. And I was like, everything I said was caveated with, but you have a different ball, you have different position, and a lot of the rugby lads will kick and go, so they'll catch overhead. Do you know, they'll be kind of looking backwards. We never do that in GAA. It's always front facing, front foot onto the ball. So round ball, oval ball. But there was natural stuff that your timing of jumps, and obviously in Gaelic games the breaking ball is huge. So how you position yourself. Do you have a Jack McCaffrey coming off your shoulder, or do you have an Niall Scully looping in? Things that maybe they could work on, maybe. But I was out the gap. I was nabbed by an IRFU TV interview thing, and that's where it kind of grew legs. And, I work with a lot of surgeons.
I've taught them everything I know.
Well, no.
That's all I can do.
I literally had to apologise to so Hugo Keenan's he was asked about it, and I saw I was like, Hugo, I'm so sorry you had to be asked about this.
He gave you credit for
this is
the James Lowe. There was a try with James Lowe's on the touchline.
That was the game. That was the next game.
Yeah.
I think I was having a few points somewhere, so I missed it, and I got a few texts about it, but absolutely not me.
Is that not true?
No, as in,
why is he bothered? Why is he?
I don't know. You journalists will jump on anything, but no, as in there was conversations about that, as in the benefit of that. You won't be in a position to catch. So isn't it great having a man down below you? But rugby players do this all the time.
Yeah. So okay, maybe it's not revolutionary to you. But maybe they weren't thinking about breaking ball as much, because there's a lot more breaking ball.
Oh, and it was so interesting. Goody was talking about arm position, hand position, stiff arm stuff to kind of, rather than knock it on, knock it back. And your players are, maybe rugby players were slow. The chaser, the kicker would chase aggressively, but maybe they didn't have that second wave of players coming to breaking. But the breaking ball. So some lads might be getting a rest, or
so you're saying I taught them that. That's the headline.
Well, listen, spread that rumor. I'm happy with it.
No, I take your point. These things get blown.
They do.
But I did in the recent Australia game. I don't know if you watched it, but it was very notable. Matt Hansen played at fullback.
Yeah.
and the first ball that went near him, and we're seeing this more and more in rugby, he didn't catch it in the breadbasket because there's more competition now. He went up and fielded it like a young Brian Fenton.
A young Brian Fenton? What happened to like
a
middle age older?
and he caught it over his head, which is relatively new.
No, it is new.
So
it is.
Were you talking about that to them?
No, and well, yes and no. There was conversations, and it was new for them. And the idea is that rather than wait for it here, you have much more of an advantage if you fully extend and get up and extend your arms and grab that ball. But that comes with reps, that comes with practice, that comes with your Prendergast kicking, and you know you have to go back to real basics here and rep that. So it was conversational and it was nothing revolutionary. So maybe I'm downplaying a little bit because
I feel like you might be, but fair enough.
But yeah, they've been over asked about it.
Okay,
is my
but we'll move off it. So you didn't do it. Everyone gather around. This is how you catch a ball demonstration.
I did not do that.
100%.
100%. No.